Hi, everybody, and again, it's time for ECTV Live. This is Judge Tom Munley with my co-host David DeCosmo. And as usual, David, I have to say to you that this show has gotten great response. I hear it on the street all the time. A lot of people love watching you on television, David. You have a great following, and we have a great guest today, David. And I'm going to read this because she has so many titles. She's such an outstanding citizen. It's Richmond-Cullen, who was a friend of mine. She's the curriculum specialist, regional director, Pennsylvania Council on the Arts, Arts Education Partnership, Northeastern Educational Intermediate Unit. How about that for a mouthful,
I was
David?
going to ask for a business card, but that'd be too long. So we'll keep with Catherine, I think. And I know that she is joining us this morning to talk about the Arts Alive program. What's Arts Alive?
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me here today. And the NEIU is happy to be on your show, delighted. And we're really grateful for the time.
Great to have you.
Thanks.
Great to have you.
Great to have you, Catherine.
Thank you. Well, Arts Alive is a program for talented high school students and educators. It's been actually running for about 18 years, but we are huge this summer and delighted to be. We have about 150 participants. It's very unique. We teach the fine arts, and our educators are professional artists from the Pennsylvania Arts Council roster. So we have classes in visual and performing arts. And we also have public school and non-public school educators participating in the classes with the high school children as peers. So we've got 11 teachers this year who will be dancing and singing and painting and taking photographs, etc. And it's just a really fine, wonderful program. We're very proud of it. It's won Best Practices in the Arts in Pennsylvania. And we are, for the 5th year in a row, a regional summer school of excellence for the Department of Education.
When you say regional, Catherine, where will the students be coming from that will be attending this? I'd like to find out later how they get into it, but where are they coming from?
Well, the NEIU service region is a 5-county region. So it's Lackawanna, Wayne, Susquehanna, Pike, and Wyoming counties. So we have 20 public school districts that we serve, and then the non-public and private schools in the region as well.
And
so
you have your own board of directors.
Yes, we do, and your brother is a member of our board.
Yes, my brother Bobby's a member of the board, and I know he works hard on the NEIU board, and I'm very proud of him.
Yes, and we're very grateful for the board's support for the arts programming of the intermediate unit. I mean, the intermediate unit does a lot of things in terms of education as a subsidiary of the Department of Ed. And our new executive director is Dr. David Reese, and he's very much in support of the arts, as was Dr. Fred Rossetti, whose last day is this week. You know, he's retiring.
Now, as I understand it, NEIU really supervises, arranges, schedules special educational type programs in various fields. And when I think of a special effort for education, I think my first thought might be students that need additional work in mathematics or in English and reading, etc. I don't know that the arts would be on top of my list, and so that begs the question, when it comes to a special effort, how important are the arts?
Well, I'm glad you asked. The arts are part of the academic standards in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. So they're required academic subjects for all students, grades kindergarten through 12th. So our school districts are doing a really good job, and we have phenomenal arts teachers in the region. But the NEIU supplements those programs, and we're very blessed to have the support of the Pennsylvania Arts Council. We have a wonderful program with Lackawanna County Judge Arts Save, which is part of the Arts Engage program of the commissioners, run by Maureen McGuigan. But we could talk about those programs as well.
What is that particular program with relation to arts?
Okay, well, if you think of things as like overarching, the biggest program is the Arts Alive program, which is our summer program which will start next week. But as a subsidiary of that program, we also have a monthly program during the year, which is funded by Lackawanna County Arts Engage money. And in that program, we take teenagers who are very successful in school, both academically and artistically, and we have them come together once a month with kids who have had a lot of difficulty in their lives. And most of our children who are who come through the Children and Youth Services Department of Lackawanna County or the courts have had difficulty with school success, and also have had some troubles maybe with truancy or different issues. But the beauty of the program is that the judges, your colleagues, Judge Chad Harhut and Trish Corbett, and I don't want to leave anyone out, but there may be other judges who are...
I know the judges support it very much.
Yeah, they're literally assigning kids to the program in lieu of juvenile detention or as part of their payback to society. And our success rate with all of the kids, both the kids who are struggling, doing a lot better, and the kids who are very successful, getting a better tolerance and understanding of, people's troubles in the world and why people make difficult choices.
Well, let's talk about next week. Now, you said Arts Alive starts next week.
Yes, it does.
Now, so if let's say my wife is watching the show or other people are watching the show, exactly when you're talking about Arts Alive, what are you talking about?
Yeah, okay, great. Well, we actually have classes in 5 locations. We are at Keystone College, who is one of our partners, and we teach photography there with Ward Rowe and Ivana Pavelka. We have Artworks Gallery downtown, our newest gallery. Earl Lehman and Lee Pauling will be teaching painting there. We have a class at the Scranton Cultural Center, who's one of our most fantastic partners, I have to say, because Matt Flynn and the board of directors there have really given us amazing assistance.
We had Matt Flynn as one of our guests here.
Oh, he's just wonderful, as is their board. I mean, I can name like Paul Wendolowski and Nana Gilmartin, and just phenomenal people who have really, really supported our programs as educational aspects of the Cultural Center. But the class there is Ted Michalowski. He's teaching drawing, illustration. We have a class at Lackawanna College, another one of our wonderful partners, and that will be a mixed media class with Anne Marie Ciccarelli and Nikki Mosier. And then we have a performing arts program, which is really musical theater, and that'll be at Ballet Theater of Scranton with Joanne Arduino, Mara Malloy, Aaron Malloy, and Theo Linsicki. And Theo is a Broadway star. I mean, he's touring the country with, he just made the show A Chorus Line, and he's going to spend a little time teaching us this summer, teaching our kids. So it's just really fantastic.
I noticed on your website you have a photo of a young lady here who is engaged in a bit of artwork and painting. I gather this is from a previous year, obviously, since you haven't started yet.
It is.
And she has a lot of equipment in front of her. So how do you, I mean, this must be very tough to get all the equipment you need for the various arts.
Right. Well, it's a school. It is a school in the summer. I mean, it's a month long, but my team and I work really hard to make sure we have not only all the equipment, supplies, but staff, and we have assistants working. This is a great thing. The assistants are former Arts Alive kids who are now in college, and we pay them as interns to come back in the summer and help us with the younger students, so they serve as mentors. And we also, we just started working with Goodwill Industries. Bo Hoban is in charge of a mentorship program, and they're going to be helping our kids learn to be better mentors. So that's exciting. Well,
I think you're onto something good here. But here's my question for the people who are watching, Catherine. Number one, could any child enroll in this this artistic endeavor that you're starting? And a lot of people would like to know what the difference is. You're talking about visual arts,
Okay.
performing arts.
Right.
I mean, we know what it is, but a lot of people want to know. They have kids who may be talented in singing,
Good.
some in painting.
Yeah,
Maybe you can
okay,
talk
great. Okay, I will. Thank you, Judge. Well, first of all, the first part of your question was, how do you get involved? Our school districts recommend kids to the program, but if someone is watching and they feel they either have a child or a grandchild or someone they know who is of high school age and who they feel is talented either in singing and dancing and theater or any kind of painting, drawing, photography, or any kind of artistic endeavor, they could still get in touch with us at the intermediate unit. I don't know if I should tell my phone number
Yeah,
or
whatever, either an email address or phone or whichever. Yes, please.
Okay, well, they could call directly to my phone, which is 876-9223. Or my assistants, Stephanie Bush is one of my wonderful team members, and her number is 876-9217. My other assistant's on vacation this week, but
Okay.
at any rate, she's getting ready for the calm before the storm. But the other thing is, they do come through our school districts, and the schools pay a consortia fee, which our board votes on every year, and Mr. Munley is part of the voting board. And that pays for a lot of the money that it costs to run this program. But
That's my brother Bobby.
yeah, your brother Bobby. Thank you again.
Yeah.
Another plug, yay.
Yeah. Well, I'm not part of it, but my brother
Oh, he's
Bobby.
fantastic. Yeah, Mr., not Judge, right?
Yeah.
You are Mr. Mudley.
Is there a
You're
tuition
Judge
fee
Mudley.
as well?
Yes, we do, but we have a fee. It's it's $400 for the 4 weeks, but we waive that fee if the child is in need. We do have some scholarship money from the Department of Ed and from Lackawanna County. There are referrals through Lackawanna County as well, Children and Youth Services. And so if anyone has a child who is working through CYS, I mean, they can definitely have an opportunity to send their children or grandchildren. So we're pretty much at capacity, but you know, we're always open. We can't have a closed door. When God sends a child, you take the child, you know. So that's always been our philosophy.
And from what I understand, David, which is surprising, teachers also attend this program.
Right.
Don't they? Not only students, David, high school teachers attend the program.
And elementary, and they don't teach the arts. That's the interesting part. I mean, a lot of teachers, some do, but most don't. Like we'll have high school math, phys ed, elementary. We have a whole plethora of subject areas, and the teachers come and they have to be in the show. I mean, we have a huge final, I have to tell you about that. But the teachers are in the show, the teachers are in the classes. They're not teaching, they're students and they're peers of the high school kids.
Is this another? This is obviously a dance group, I believe, that
Right.
from a previous year. So at the conclusion of Arts Alive, they would be putting on a performance.
Yes, that's how the Cultural Center is. Well, we have classes there, but the Cultural Center has just been wonderful. We have an art exhibition and final performance on July 30th, open to the public. So perhaps someone watching would love to come to see tremendously talented kids. The art show is in the junior ballroom, and it fills the entire ballroom. And then the show is on the main stage at the Cultural Center. And it starts at 5:30 on June 30th. And we have a small admission fee, very small, just to try to cover the costs of the several, you know, it's a big production,
Sure.
so
So
we do
it's
have some costs.
entertainment, it's music,
Fun.
it's singing, it's dancing.
Yeah, all original. And this year we have foreign exchange students from Gubbio, Italy.
Oh.
So we have some kids coming over from Italy this year. Dr. Rossetti made those arrangements, and these kids are going to be in our performing class, and they don't speak any English, so that should be another interesting part.
You use the term tremendously talented kids, and you say the program has been running for several years. How talented are the young people in our area when it comes to the arts?
Tremendous, absolutely. Use the word again. Stupendously, extraordinarily. And the thing is, we don't discriminate, though. I mean, we don't say to a kid, you have to be a virtuoso or you have to be somebody like Theo Linsicki, who ends up on Broadway. But Theo came to Arts Alive, and you know, he came as a youngster, and he came through our ranks and got the opportunity to work with these professional artists. I mean, the teachers in the program, the artists are amazing, and they all have credentials like you would not believe. And so even kids with some talent, but maybe they aren't even the stars in their high school. They could just be, you know, someone who wants to do it. They end up superstars, and it's really beautiful what happens with the kids.
So I have a 10-year-old son, Logan. How do I get him involved in this Arts Alive?
Well, I'll tell you, it's interesting because we started an Arts Alive Junior division this year, and it's going to be for students who are in grades 5th through 8th grade. Now, I don't know what grade Logan is in.
He's going to 5th grade.
Perfect. Well, we have a younger division, and we're just starting, but it's only in the performing arts this year. It'll be a musical theater class the same time as Arts Alive. We have a professional New York artist coming in to teach. Her name is Billy Kubiak. She was on Broadway in her day. She's not by any means slowed down, but she no longer is performing, but she's teaching. And we have a lot of the college kids working in that class, but we've got very good enrollment so far, and these kids will get a chance not only to learn through the teachers, but they'll be right next door to the big kids, so that's exciting.
Do they learn acting?
Yeah, acting, singing, dancing through a musical theater piece, and they're going to end up performing with the big kids on stage. They'll have 2 numbers of their own, and everybody will be in the finale. And I don't want to give away the show, but what they do is they use excerpts from Broadway, from works on Broadway, but in a thematic way. So our theme this year is roots, our own roots, our ethnic roots. And we're going to learn about the history of the region, the kids, through the theater and through visual arts. So
let me ask you this, and I guess it's almost a two-faceted question in terms of the typical student that would come into Arts Alive, and also the troubled students that you mentioned earlier in our broadcast. You see them come in.
yeah.
Then you see them with their performances. What does this do for them?
Well, I can assure you it changes their lives. And that's what I say to them the first day. Every year, we greet them, and we have all the kids at the Cultural Center, and we have a DJ there to have fun, et cetera, et cetera. And the first thing I say to them is, you guys, I'm going to tell you right now, Arts Alive will change your life. And I get so many letters and so many calls from parents and things. And the IU receives a lot of letters too that I don't even see. You know, the executives get them and the board. But you know, that these kids really feel their lives were changed. I mean, I could cite stories and tell you 1 or 2 just about children who have completely changed and turned their lives around. But I mean, even the kids who are straight A students that come, they know that they believe in themselves more. I mean, the arts do that for our kids.
Could you, I mean, without a name, could you give us an example of one
Sure.
such story?
Yeah. I was at Lordsmont School, which is one of our alternative centers, and we have artists in residence at Lordsmont School. And I saw this boy in the hallway, and he was very troubled. He was using foul language, he was very abusive, and I looked at him and I said, why does someone with such a beautiful face talk like that? And he kind of was taken aback, and I said, you need to come to our program. Long story short, he went from a kid who had been arrested 6 times in his life, thrown out of school, to dancing on the stage to the song Oklahoma and with farmer jeans on. The kids in the program became his closest friends. Out of his own mouth, he would say things like, I never thought that these kids would even want to talk to me. I never thought these type of children would be my friends. He left the alternative school, graduated from Scranton High School, and he's now a full-time student in beauty school. He's getting a degree. He's the only child in his entire family who ever graduated high school. Only person in his family
Right.
who graduated high school. And he's he's a featured speaker of ours now. We bring him in and have him talk to groups of people and talk about how the arts changed
That's a great
his
story.
life.
Excellent. And how about a typical student, a non-troubled student,
Yeah.
who make up the bulk of the
you're
class? When they come in, how do you start? Let's take a painter.
Okay.
Someone who works with perhaps watercolor or oil. When they come in, would the instructor typically, for instance, just have them create something on their own first of all, and then go over it with them, review it with them, check it?
These are really good questions. First of all, one thing I want to say for the audience is that it isn't just the troubled kids that do well. I mean,
Right.
we're trying to make that point. A lot of our kids in the visual arts, they'll take their portfolios, which are very, very good because our teachers locally are excellent. Our teachers of the arts in our school districts, our public schools in terms of arts education are phenomenal locally. And so these kids have opportunities in their high schools, but then they come and study with a professional artist. So their portfolios, they're taking them and getting right into schools like Pratt, RISD, and many different high-end, Tyler School at Temple University, really fine, intense art schools. And their interviewers will say, your portfolios are outstanding. And the kids acknowledge that it's the extra work they had in the summer that made their portfolios stand out. So that's number one. And the second part of your question was, what do you do when the kids come in? Well, the artists teach differently than teachers. They're very organic. And basically what would happen is they are given assignments in the classes, and they every time they work independently. You're more than welcome to come see any day you would like to come around and see the
Anybody
kids.
can come and watch?
If you let me know, yes, because
right.
of course we're a public school and we have to
Right.
protect who can come in. But if I'm your escort, we'd be delighted to have, if anyone was curious or wanted to see the kids. But nevertheless, it's very organic. But you asked about critique, and part of what we do is academic standards based, because we are a public entity. I mean, we are the school districts. So the way we present the program is so that the students get opportunities to learn in the academic standards in the arts. So not only do they make art, such as paintings or drama, but then they learn the background and the history of the art forms and about famous artists and who could influence them in their work. But then they get critique. They learn about how to critique, to look at their own and others' work, and they learn about aesthetics in the art form. So the artists, there's a lot of work going on, and these kids work. They get up in the summer. I mean, they're teenagers.
They work hard.
They have to be there at 9. They're not allowed to be late,
Right.
or they lose their scholarship. And I'm very serious about that.
Right.
And
So no showing up at 20 after 9 and 9:30. So Catherine, we have about 5 minutes left. I
Oh,
want to ask you
okay.
real fast because Dave, I'm sure, has a couple more questions. When there's the students who want to appear and be part of this, when do they show up? When is the first day?
July 6th.
July 6th.
Excuse me. I'm so sorry. July 5th.
That would be a Monday.
Monday. I don't know
Monday,
why.
July 5th. Where do the students report?
At the Scranton Cultural
Okay,
Center.
what time? 9 o'clock?
9 o'clock.
All right.
Yeah. And the junior kids, the younger ones, they start on the 7th at Ballet Theater.
Okay.
Okay.
Where's
But
that?
On Penn Avenue, 310 Penn Avenue.
Okay.
So for those still interested, let's repeat those phone
Yeah.
numbers for
Yes.
your contact.
I think so.
In case we have someone watching who is,
Right.
again, has a student who may qualify or they believe ought to be involved. The phone numbers they can call?
Yes, you can call my number. It's Dr. Catherine Cullen at 876-9223 at the intermediate unit, or Stephanie Bush at 876-9217.
Keep watching ECTV because our program, although live when it initiates, is rebroadcast, and you can pick up those numbers in case you missed them. I want to hit one other thing, which I think is important because it takes this to the next level. You say that they get into various schools, some of them, because of their involvement with Arts Alive. Are there art scholarships available for colleges as well as there are the typical football scholarships and the straight A student scholarships?
Right. Well, yes, absolutely. But that would be through the colleges themselves. But
Right.
many of our kids do get scholarships because when you go to an art school, your scholarship is based on your portfolio, which is demonstrates your talent. So if the more talented they are, the more money they'll give them because they want them to come there. You know, and with the performing arts, there are scholarships through there. They send in videos and you know, DVDs of their performances, and these kids are exceptional. Look at Theo Linsicki, Arts Alive student on Broadway. Yeah, there we go.
You know what, Catherine, with David and I, the whole purpose of this show, when we instituted this show, was to introduce people to people like you with arts. We had Austin Burke on to talk about the Chamber of Commerce, Maddie Flynn to talk about well, I call it Masonic Temple, my age is showing, but the Cultural Center. But there's so much going on in Northeast Pennsylvania, and I remember David even said that one day. There's so much going on all over Northeast Pennsylvania. People are not aware of it.
Oh, it's a great place to live, and I feel very blessed. I can assure you that just any day of the week there's an arts event in our city. I mean, you go out in the courthouse and hear the music, or, you know, our county commissioners are exceptionally supportive of the arts, as are our school districts and our NEIU execs and all of the institutions around. You know, we have something in our community that a lot of communities don't have, and that is we have partnerships, real teamwork among organizations. And it's the people who are the leaders that know how to work together, because we care about each other in Lackawanna and the greater counties of the region. So I think that makes a difference.
Well, Arts Alive is a week away now from your getting started. And although we're just talking about the start of the program, it's important to mention the end of it as well, the public performance. So
Right.
one more time, can you tell us about that?
Thank you so much for the opportunity. It's July 30th, and it will be at 5:30 at the Scranton Cultural Center, open to the public, and we get a lot of wonderful people to support us. And we'd love to have anyone who's interested. Even though they're kids, they're just so exceptional, very talented.
And you'll get to see then the results of all of this artistic work, whether it be the paintings, the drawings, photography you mentioned, and
Right.
certainly the performing arts. I guess that's the one thing that continues to puzzle me when you say there's academic standards for the arts. I know how you determine if it's an A if it's in calculus. I'm not so sure how you determine if it's an A if it's in dancing or painting.
Well, that's another whole show.
Yeah. Did you get an A in calculus? I never did.
No, as a matter of fact, I was. My brother was the math genius in our family. They're not sure yet just where I excelled.
Yeah. Right.
Oh,
But I'm really excited about this show, Catherine. David was telling me about it, and what a great thing for Northeast Pennsylvania.
thank you.
And I really think the people that are watching this show are going to take part in this. And July 30th at 5:30, they want to see what these kids accomplish, David. They should be there at the Cultural Center.
Wow.
And I'm sure they will. I'm going to be there, David. Maybe
I'd love to actually get in on some of the classes. Perhaps I'll give you a call.
We'd
And
love to have you. Love a tour.
might be a great theme for another one of our shows, People, Places, and Things, where
Wonderful.
we get in and have a look at things.
Take the kids this time. They're a lot more interesting than me.
Well, I guarantee you my wife, Janine, and my son-in-law will be there. They're not watching today, but I don't think. I hope they are, but they'll be there.
Great.
All right, we're out of time, David the Cosmo. Again, this is Tom Munley. On behalf of my co-host, David the Cosmo, also Catherine Cullen, you were a great guest today.
Thank you.
We
It
really
was so
enjoyed
nice to
Do
be here.
I could call you Dr. Catherine
No,
Cullen, but
just Catherine.
Thank you so much for being here. And we learned a lot about Arts Alive,
Yes,
David.
yeah.
And I'm actually going to take part in this. I'm going to see if I can get my friends to take part in at least attending the show anyway.
Fantastic.
I don't think I could dance around the stage at my age, but we're going to do that, Catherine. And David,
Great.
again, it's a pleasure. We'll be together again next Monday.
My pleasure, partner.
But David raised a nice point. This show is live now at 12 o'clock. It's shown every single day at ECTV at 12 o'clock and also at 12 o'clock midnight.
Right.
2 times a day. So it's on 10 times a week. So, Catherine, you'll be famous after the 10
Oh,
times
boy.
this show is on. So on behalf of ECTV and my co-host, David the Cosmo, this is Judge Tom Munley saying thank you for watching and see you again next Monday.